Big news for soccer fans here in BC and beyond. The owners of the Vancouver Whitecaps have announced they're looking to sell the team. The group says the decision comes after, quote, careful consideration of the club's journey and what is required to ensure its continued growth and success. The Whitecaps are currently owned by Greg Kerfoot, Steve Luzo, Jeff Mallett, and Steve Nash. They've asked Goldman Sachs to help with the sale. Now, for more on the plan to sell the Whitecaps, we're joined by club CEO and sporting director Axel Schuster. Axel, thanks for being here. First of all, can you explain more about why the owners want to sell the team now?
Because they think it is the right momentum, and this is the right moment at all, because, it is something that happens naturally at some point. Ownership groups don't stay forever. And so they have been in this thought process since a while, and after a couple of months of thinking this through, they thought this is a good moment because the club is in a good moment. The club is at a good point. We had a record crowd last year, 7 in total in attendance in MLS. We are growing everywhere after we came out of COVID. And so they want to look for somebody who takes it from here, and they want to do this in a moment where it is also very attractive to do this.
Now, we know in this city that when teams get sold, I'm thinking of the Vancouver Grizzlies, people get very nervous. Is it possible that new owners could move the club?
Look, we are fully focused on finding the right owner who is committed, passionate, and who wants to take it into the next decade, because we think there is a lot of potential to grow in MLS at all, the fastest growing professional league in North America, in the Vancouver market with the World Cup coming for the Vancouver Whitecaps. I would like to go with the positive example of a ownership change, the Lions, where the club, it's fair to say, is in a better place than before since the ownership group changed. And that's what we are working on. And we're not in a rush. We will take the time to find this owner.
How much of this do you think comes down to the fact, the potential sale, the fact that the team doesn't own the stadium it's playing in, BC Place, or the UBC Practice Centre?
The UBC Practice Center is actually an advantage, and FIFA has visited us several times. We will host the nations that are coming to Vancouver. We will host the Canadian national team during the time they will be in Vancouver. And the BC Play situation is actually an interesting one, because we have just started negotiations about a new lease after 15 years. This lease is up for renegotiation. And both parties totally agree that this lease is outdated and it doesn't fit to what the situation in the world looks like today. So there's also another upside. And all of that flew into the considerations of when is the right time to look into the market, to find somebody who sees all this upside, who sees this potential for growth, and to find the right one who takes it from here.
Now, you talked about record attendance and all of that. Have the current owners been willing to spend the money necessary to have this team win a championship and become more successful? We haven't had a championship yet, at least on the MLS side.
Look, that's obviously what I have heard from fans before, from people from the business community. And just recently, I was at a fan event where I got asked the same question. And today, the reactions were what I expected. It's also like, wow, if somebody comes in with the new energy, with a new commitment, that might help us also to push the club to a new high that we don't see for now in the actual scenario. We all want this club to do better every year. We all want to do the next step. We are ambitious. We put the bar high. And now we have another avenue. We have another potential to unlock where we can get additional new energy to do even better.
Lastly, Axel, we appreciate your time. With the potential sale of the team, what does that do with your position with the club?
I have several years of contract here, and I will lead this club throughout the whole process, and I will make sure that we will do very successful in this process, and we find the right ownership group for the future, and the club is set up right in the future. And at the same time, and that's an important message to all our supporters, this happens on the side. That doesn't impact our day-to-day business. We want to play a better season next year. We will bring in a new coach. We will bring in new players. And we will not take the foot from the gas. We will even be more committed to do better, to make this club as attractive as possible. And that goes also with success on the pitch.
Axel Schuster, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.